Get ready to see a technology that will change the world for the good. No more pollution, only low-cost energy, and so much more.
We take you to a Connecticut town and a Jetsetter find that you can only get here.
We found a classic Bordeaux with a great lineage that is less than $10 a bottle.
Then we head back to see Gustav for another meal at Spiedini in Las Vegas. And this time, he dazzles us with shrimp and pasta.
And we take you to the PGA Show to get you a headset for golf, working out, and driving the car.
Undercover Jetsetter is roaring into your space, so get ready. Cheers.
Cheers.
And welcome to the show. We are in Hong Kong at a great wine bar. We'll fill you in on that later. But we are enjoying lots of food, travel, wine, and golf.
But first, we're going to introduce you to a technology that will allow you to enjoy all that for years and decades to come.
So get yourself a libation and get ready.
Even if you have to hit pause, hit pause.
This is going to blow your mind. Imagine no more of this.
Or this.
Or even this.
This technology will take it all away.
Sure, it looks like a bunch of wires, electronics, and metal housing sitting in a warehouse in North Las Vegas, Nevada.
But it is more. This technology can turn trash and waste into usable forms of energy and reusable byproducts with no pollution.
It can give us medical-grade water.
Gold Seal Industries is founded by Kim Kirkendall, who is partnered with one of our Jetsetters, actor and TV host, John O'Hurley.
They are making us look at waste in a whole different light.
I don't see it as a negative, I see them as positive. John and I, as my partner, we've always looked at it from that perspective. We don't call it waste, it's actually commodities. It's something that can be used over and over and over again. It's not something we want to bury or throw away. We want to convert it, which is what our technology is conversion into something that's reused over and over again.
This technology has not existed anywhere in the world, and if you look at the applications, the incredible number of applications that this technology has, you scratch your head and you go, where do you begin and where does it end? It's what I refer to as a terminal technology. We may be doing refinements of the technology, but the idea of taking waste in any form and turning it into energy of any form with zero emissions really it's a game changer, and it's also an end game too. It isn't going to get any more zero emission.
So how does it work? Well, like an appliance in your kitchen.
The way a microwave works is that it takes a frequency and vibrates water molecules very quickly that produces heat in your food. We do something similar, except we take electromagnetic current and create a field around the metal itself. We vibrate the metal molecules very quickly that produces the heat, and in turn that breaks down the feedstock. Well, first off, it is a conservation of energy, so it's an efficiency issue, so it makes it extremely efficient and lowers the cost of actually operating the unit. Secondly is that we produce all of our own electricity, so we're truly recycling everything.
Including something like coal.
Not only can it process the coal, but it can do coal fines, which is a pollutant, and there's large mounds of it all over the world. This is the first time that we're able to process coal as zero emissions and zero pollution. In other words, we're converting this into commodities that are 100% recycled. So the byproduct from this is water. We also, which is medical grade distilled water. We also get the activated charcoal, which goes into different air filters and filtration systems. So we're actually converting coal for the first time into a commodity that's 100% recycled.
That includes not needing a local landfill anymore.
Okay, so municipal solid waste, which is your garbage that you produce in your home and in businesses, we convert that simply by shredding it up, and it can be anything from magazines, carpeting, plastics, even grocery bags that you have plastic bottles, plastic water bottles, and this allows us to convert it into a synthetic gas. We can recycle it and make it back to plastic again if you choose to, or we can make it into liquid fuels for transportation and or electricity. Plastic is not an environmental problem. It's human behavior is the problem. We can take the plastic and convert it back into synthetic gas and then make more plastic out of it. Instead of dumping it into the oceans or landfills, we're actually truly recycling it 100%.
And we know you'll miss the chance of having a choking tire fire near your home.
We take the whole tire and we shred it down to 1 inch plus minus. We stick the tires with the metal left in it inside of our unit. The steel comes out in a little ball like this, and it's sold as recyclable steel. The carbon black is processed and turned into a powder that we sell back to the tire manufacturers or other rubber manufacturers, including this plastic that's on these chairs. We get an industrial chemical from that, and we process this through our distillation unit, and it converts it into medical grade distilled water, and also converts the chemicals into a powder that we sell back to the tire manufacturer to make more automobile and commercial tires with. This is in a powder form, and you can see the high sulfur content. Sulfur is what gets you mileage on your tires. So this is a very valuable commodity. We recycle the tire 100% with no emissions or pollution. About 13% of an automobile tire is steel. On the commercial tires, like your big mining tires, they can be as much as 60% steel. But this is high quality steel that we collect 100% and recycle it. It goes into all different kinds of products, including making you brand new automobiles or other different kinds of components that are made out of steel, but it is recycled 100%. It's usable anywhere in the world.
Wait, there's more. How about no medical waste?
This is a form of medical waste. This is syringes and hypodermic needles that's been put into a sharps container through a proprietary and patented method of heating it, and it makes this briquette, and you simply, a doctor, dentist, veterinarian, can put it in the mail and mail it to me, and we process it 100%, including the needles, and the needles are recycled as steel, and they're a very, very high quality medical grade steel, so it's very valuable, but it cuts the cost of medical waste disposal significantly, and it does not send anything to a landfill. Here in Las Vegas, the cost of standard garbage or municipal solid waste is about $50 a ton to put in the landfill. Medical waste is about $500 a ton to process. So by putting it into this briquette, mailing it to me, and I convert it 100% into energy and recycle the steel, I've cut the cost significantly.
Is this too good to be true?
It's not only developed it, it's proven. It's a technology that we've been testing well over 5 years by operating and running it. We also are backed by major corporations that give us warranties and guarantees because we're a systems integrator. We also offer a insurance warranty that nobody else in the world has. We offer a policy through Lloyd's of London that guarantees the production as well as the components of our system, and nobody else has that in the world.
And trust us, there's a lot more to this. In fact, we're going to have more segments, including one on how this technology can help island nations.
And also how this technology can create food to feed the world.
And of course, this is not something that's inexpensive. It does take a large investment.
But who can use this? Well, governments and private investors.
And if you know anybody or any government or any entity that could do that, get in contact with us.
Send us an email here and we'll get you the information that you need.
And welcome back. We are in Hong Kong, but we're actually thinking about a place in New England.
Yes, and it may be old, but it is loaded with amenities and new food.
Need a break from a New York City stay? Then hop the train and get off in Madison, Connecticut.
Folks here think Madison is a suburb of NYC so much they don't say New York. It's just the city.
Now, this is a quaint small town with large, elegant homes near and along Long Island Sound.
It began in 1641 as East Guilford, but later named in 1826 for our fourth president, James Madison.
Now, the downtown is small but walkable. Plus, you can get Uber or Lyft here.
We're here in autumn, filled with ideal weather, and not filled with the summer crowds who love these beaches.
And we suggest you bunk down at the upscale Madison Beach Hotel. It's part of the Hilton's luxury curio collection, and for good reason.
The views of Long Island Sound are so peaceful.
Now, the rooms have a charm, though modern, and they make you think that Gatsby and his crowd probably revved up their Duesenbergs to get here.
Now, these folks shared their view with us and toasted to its incredible tranquility.
Ah, yes. And now nearby is the famed Madison Country Club. This private gem was built in 1900, designed by the legendary golf architect Willie Park Jr., just for its exclusive members, right? Well, yeah.
But Undercover Jetsetters did some digging for you. And if you stay at the Madison Beach Hotel, you too can play the Madison Country Club. You have to be a registered guest, and the tee time, based on availability, has to be booked through the hotel's concierge.
And why wouldn't you? Look at these views.
After golf, you will want to allow your palate to luxuriate by heading to the Wharf Bar or the porch.
Now, first we tried the Cooled Cuke. It was perfect. It had your favorite of Hendrick's Gin with another favorite, St. Germain, basil, cucumber, and lime. It was fresh and crisp. This could go any time of year, but especially on a hot summer day.
Next, we tried Dusk at the Wharf. It had a look and feel of a more sophisticated, less sweet tequila sunrise. It has Saza tequila, grapefruit, orange, and pineapple juice with agave and hella bitters.
Now, for food, they killed us with these fried Brussels sprouts. We called this full gas, as one of our German jet-setters once called it. The sprouts are fried with Fuji apples, bacon, gorgonzola, and honey vinaigrette. It was a symphony for the taste buds.
Next, the Prince Edward Island mussels with garlic and white wine. These were tender and salty, and just look at how beautiful they are.
Now, next, we traveled to nearby Guilford, one town over, for some more food and wine.
First stop was Ballou's Restaurant and Wine Bar. What a great spot to meet friends after work. Rustic yet homey, and you can eat inside or outside in warm weather months.
We went inside and dove into the hummus with a red pepper spread, served with carrots, flatbread, and pimento.
Ballou offers wine tasting with various flights. You can get a mixed batch like this red, white, and rosé.
We tried a flight of Chardonnays as well that were broken down as creamy, oak dryer, and apple steel. Now, we suggest trying them in reverse order.
Don't want the flight? Try Ballou's own Chardonnay bottled in Millbrook, New York. Yes, a New York State wine, which was great, by the way. Dry with a little bit of oak, but not as big as a California.
Now, after some apps and wine, walk your palate next door to South Lane Bistro. This is down-home bar food with some gourmet twists.
The corn chowder is a must. It's simple: roasted corn, potatoes, and cream.
A real sit-up and take notice was the rosemary fried zucchini. It comes with a lemon aioli that'll get you dipping quite a bit.
And the asparagus was so good. We just used our hands. This way you can lick the blue cheese and the extra virgin olive oil right off your fingers.
Now, we also had the California BLT with avocado, pesto mayo, all on a grain bread.
Korean barbecue rib tips are another must. The sauce is sweet and rich and gooey on your fingers.
Now, next we had one of their specials, not always on the menu, but it should be. The Korean barbecue chicken skewers with ramen noodles and Napa cabbage was loaded with a fresh taste and crunch.
So, as you can see, you won't go hungry in Guilford and Madison. But could you live here?
Now, this is an expensive area with its connections to New York City and nearby Yale University.
The median price of a home is well over $400,000.
And you'll need an annual salary of $40,000 really just to get by.
But if you have the income, this is the place to raise kids, especially kids who want a great education.
That's right, the schools here are fabulous thanks to the high tax base that funds the schools and the athletic programs.
Autumn here is one of the best times of the year, but the winters can be cold and snowy.
Not for you? Then, well, come for a weekend of food, drink, and great views. Now, I vote for going there in the fall, which I do most vacation spots.
And when we come back, we take you to Vegas for another great meal.
And a little later, we're going to introduce you to a Bordeaux that is very affordable.
Well, we are in Hong Kong, but we still think a lot about our good friend and buddy, Gustav.
You know, master chefs will do that to you. Gustav Mahler is a longtime friend from Vegas.
So we try to stop by as often as we can, and for good reason.
And on this night, we begin with the sweetwater shrimp.
Great. And what we have here is the sweetwater shrimp wrapped with prosciutto. What we have there is mushrooms and sauteed spinach, a little bit of a sun-dried tomato sauce.
Right, so now we are tasting this delightful shrimp. It's wrapped in prosciutto. Wow, that is good. I've got mushrooms in there too. Oh, that's phenomenal. I'm gonna have it with some of the red, the Sangiovese. Goes great with that because it's got the salty prosciutto. How's that?
No, the Pinot Grigio is great. Actually smooths it out.
I can see that.
And then have the greens to go with this.
That is phenomenal.
And the mushrooms in there? Yep.
And the mushrooms are
Gustav's
great.
done it again.
A nice little shrimp packaged in prosciutto wrapping. Fabulous idea. I'm trying this.
Now, try your Sangiovese.
Yeah, you're right. It really, this Pinot Grigio brings out the sweetness of the shrimp.
Yeah.
Delicious. Next, Gustav explains our entree, his spaghetti al chitarra.
The other pasta dish is our signature dish. It's we make a homemade sausage, a little bit of eggplant, and a homemade spaghetti. Chitarra is a flat cut spaghetti, and it's very, very delicious. It's very simple, very delicious.
It had me speaking Italian. Now the sketty.
And this is a signature dish. Oh my God, you can smell the aroma of fresh garlic and eggplant and sausage all right there. Ugh.
So much for gluten free.
Fighting over it. And the steam. Oh my God. It's like quintessential, perfect Italian food.
Absolutely.
If you're in Italy, this is what you're eating. It's like fresh garlic, fresh tomatoes, fresh basil, fresh cheese, fresh meat and sausage.
And even though it's pasta, it's light.
Fresh pasta. Well, that's fresh pasta. When you get fresh pasta, it's light. I mean, because it's just made and it's so delicate, and you know, you cook it for like 2 minutes and it's done. It's like the most perfect thing.
Look at the steam.
Oh, I know. That's so good. I mean, that just shows you how well it was cooked. It's so fresh. And look at all the eggplant and the sausage together. Such a great dish.
Now this is really surprising. A Sangiovese goes good with that.
Shocker. All right, that was my go-to. I was gonna say, let me have the Sangiovese right away because this is gonna be delicious.
It's like
That is
it's
so
like the
good.
Three Stooges without Curly. If you don't have the Sangiovese with this, I know, classical reference.
And so, you know what? Just like we had the perfect Pinot Grigio with the perfect halibut fish, this is the perfect Sangiovese wine to pair with the perfect pasta. It's like heaven. And the fennel, the fennel, getting a little excited. The fennel from the sausage is so fresh and just bursting with that licorice flavor. It's so yummy and delicious. I could eat this every single day with a glass or two of Sangiovese.
Yeah. But you know what? If you're a Pinot Grigio fan and you get this Pinot Grigio, it works well with this too.
Well,
Actually,
and
it's
you
not
know
bad.
what? Because it's got the eggplant in it, I think eggplant is going to work great with Pinot Grigio. And I think the eggplant also really lightens up this dish and freshens it up.
Another classic meal with a Three Stooges reference with Gustav at Spiedini's.
He's at the JW Marriott in Summerlin in the northwest side of Las Vegas.
So when you're in Vegas, you must go see Gustav.
And no matter where you are, if you're looking for a great Bordeaux, we have one for you that will definitely satisfy your palate.
And your wallet.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
We are going to introduce to you a Bordeaux. It's called a Mouton Cadet, not Mountain Cadet, as some people would call it in America, but it's not. And this is, it's a Bordeaux, and come on, you got to do it. You got to throw that silly stuff in there. What's fascinating is that this has a rich heritage, but it's really a peasant wine. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
it's very, very good.
This is such an amazing price point. If you go to the supermarket, and pretty much any supermarket has this, it's like the best price point on a Bordeaux, and it's a Rothschild. Yeah. So the Rothschild family produces amazing wines, and this Bordeaux, it's your typical Bordeaux. It's blended with Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. Classic blend, freaking delicious, to be honest. I mean, for the price point, it's under $10. Like in some places, a lot under $10. You can find it for ridiculously inexpensive price, and it does not taste like it's inexpensive. It's so good. It's got that like raspberry, blackberry, strawberry fruits that you can smell them, and then you taste them, and it tastes like a true Bordeaux.
And it's not overpowering, so
That's
you
right.
don't get that over jammy thing. What is fascinating about that, because you're mentioning about the Rothschild family, and yet at the same time too the low price point. And if you caught one of our earlier shows, we did a shepherd's pie, and we paired this with it. And if you think about the shepherd's pie being peasant food, and this being kind of a peasant wine, it's the perfect pairing. And it does go really good with meat. It goes great with cheese.
It goes fantastically with that pate.
Have you had it already?
I just had it. Yeah, I was eating it while I was being you.
And you didn't offer any?
Normally, you were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt you. But it's delicious with that. So, anyways, continue on. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
I'm gonna try the pate now. So
well,
you can
it
go
goes
ahead and
fabulous
continue
with that
talking,
pate.
so I can only imagine.
You know what I love about it too? It's a family-owned business, and this is for wine, especially in France, the tradition that's passed on from generation to generation. I think it's such a beautiful tribute to the people who came before, and so this wine was actually created by Baron Philippe de Rothschild, and he passed away in 1988, and his daughter, Philippine de Rothschild, has taken over, and she runs the vineyard now and runs the winery, and continues on her father's tradition. And I think it's really beautiful.
There's some other interesting history too, is that in 2004, when there was a lot of anti-French sentiment, and primarily a lot of it came from the United States because France did not jump in and help with the Iraqi war. I know. And so the sales went down dramatically of French wine, and they really got hit. It was around 2004. But then, of course, things do change, and by 2007, they had an American distributor, and that's why you're seeing it now here in the United States, because there's a distributor that is, as far as I can tell, they're doing a great job, because you can get it all over the place.
Oh yeah, and that's been the case for, I would say, at least 15 years, because I've had this wine for a long time, and actually some good friends of mine introduced me to it. Because I saw it in the grocery store and it was so cheap, I never bought it because I'm a Bordeaux snob. And so I'm like, that can't be a good Bordeaux. even though it's made by a Rothschild. And once they convinced me to try it, and I tried it, and I was like, wow, blown away at how good it is. Now, I mean, if you're a Bordeaux aficionado, you know, there's a lot of nuances there, and there's other grapes that can go into making a great Bordeaux. But if you're an everyday person, or you are a person who just is getting into wine, this is a fantastic price point and a fantastic wine to try, and you got to do it and it goes so good with stuff.
And I just tried the goat cheese.
Oh,
goat cheese was fabulous. Actually, try it because and one of the things is that the thing that's so great about French wines, especially Bordeaux's, is that it really almost goes with anything. There's very few things that something like this, like for instance, I could do a salmon with this. A whitefish, possibly. I mean, you could. We were at Spiedini with Gustav.
I was just gonna say the hardy halibut
with the chanterelle mushrooms. This would go perfect with it.
Beef bourguignon. If you're a Julia Child fan and you want to make a beef bourguignon and serve to your guests this wine, they'll love it. And it's a great price point for a wine that you would want to serve at a dinner party, because if you're having a dinner party, especially in the winter, this works perfectly with beef, hearty flavors, hearty French flavors. I would go with like a bolognese. That would be great with it too. If you're into Italian, and like a flank steak, a New York strip, a filet mignon, any kind of red beef, this is going to be fabulous with. I would pair this even with chicken, a pork dish. It's so versatile because it's not over the top. It's real subtle, but it's very delicious, and it's a great price point. I mean, if you've never had a Bordeaux, you got to get this one and try it.
Okay, so this cheese here is what?
That's the one from the cave.
That's from the cave.
Yes.
And that is
cave cheese.
Okay, so we don't know whether
it's a cow's milk cave cheese.
Utter delight.
And everybody wonders why I drink.
So the Mouton Cadet, say it right. Great Bordeaux. Try it.
It's delicious. You won't go wrong. Just try it, pick it up. You can get it everywhere. You won't be disappointed, that's for sure.
Mon Dieu.
Now that we've been eating and drinking a lot, let's make exercise easier for you. It is the perfect device we found at the PGA Show. That's coming up.
More new technology at the PGA Show. Aftershocks allows you to have your tunes while playing or practicing. Mark Armistead shows John.
PGA Show. So explain how this is great for golfers.
Well, it is open ear technology. So you're able to listen to music that you only hear, no one else in your group can hear, and still be able to hear, so you can hear yourself hit a shot, you can hear contact, you can hear somebody yells "4", you can talk to your partners, but you can still listen to music or books or podcasts, whatever you want to do.
All right, so and this is actually great for practice too. Because a lot of guys
very
like
good
to go out
practice.
there and they like to do like me. I'll go out, put the headsets on, and go hit some balls.
Right, but it's hard to practice well when you can't hear yourself hit it.
Makes sense. Okay, but this is far beyond golf. I mean, you got runners.
Yes. Yeah, we are big in the running space, big in the outdoor space, skiers. It's for anything you need to do with an open ear, that you need to listen but still want to hear some music. That's where it works great. It also has a very good Bluetooth for taking calls, and they're very comfortable. They, since they're not in your ear, they're comfortable and they don't move. It's a cool unit.
All right, so are you listening to anything right now?
Yes.
What are you listening to?
I'm listening to Bruce Springsteen.
Listen to Springsteen. That's cool because it's hooked up to your
phone. Yeah.
To your phone. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you're not paying attention to anything I'm asking you.
Oh no, well, I'm talking to you.
So where do people get these?
You can. While we're in the golf business, we're trying to get them in a lot of golf shops. We're probably in about 500 right now, but we're moving that up. But you can Amazon, REI, Best Buy, all around.
So you guys don't have your own website where you sell them?
We do, and aftershocks.com.
Okay, so it's aftershocks.com, and do you get a better deal going to your website?
Nope, it's all the same everywhere.
Okay, great. Best of luck with this. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
From Hong Kong with love, we look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.